Hello and welcome to a new episode of Michael's Entrepreneur and Leadership podcast. And today is a special podcast because I'm giving a little masterclass similar as last week. And today's topic is about why scaling your business model and how to do it and which mistakes to avoid. And I'm Michael Thiemann. I'm helping entrepreneurs, leaders to find their business ideas and scale them within innovative and sustainable business models. And face it, the competition in today's business world is fierce. And entrepreneurs must do everything they can do to succeed. You might be sure that your product and service address client needs. That's true, but still finding the proper strategy for scaling your business from small to global, visible go-to authority is another big topic you have to consider. These scaling strategies differentiate a small company, a small business, a startup, or a profitable organization. Every global successful company like Apple, Amazon, SAP, or Google began as a mere business idea, but it has been actively scaled after its launch. That's the one thing. And certain factors play a vital role in how those organizations grew and became successful, beside others, which I show you later here, are the three primary elements. And let's dive into it a little bit deeper. And I'm going now to a little presentation. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, can we increase the size? Yes, we can increase the size. Just have to see that the warning is okay. Today's scaling a business, that's a big topic. Best strategies to use and mistakes to avoid is the major thing. And as I just promised, there exist three major fundamentals. One is the right offer. You create really with the offer, you address the proper need and problem, pain of the customer. Second is the customers, your clients perceived what you're offering as quality. And third, what you're doing there is on time. You're doing the right time to market. And probably you have to consider it like this. Hold on, I'm just showing on the whiteboard here. Because when doing business, you have really three major things to consider. One is definitely doing the right thing. The right thing. Okay. The other thing is you have to do it in a very good quality that really pleases your clients. That's the quality. Okay. And the third is as well, you have to do it on time. And it's a time, let's put it this way. And what you want to address is exactly this little sweet spot here. I'm just trying to make market here red. That's the sweet spot where you want to be, where everything is right. You're doing the right thing in the right quality at the right time. And every time, let's change the color, every time you're doing the right thing because you're addressing with your product the needs and the pains of your client. And even if you're doing it in a good way, but you're doing it at a time when people don't want it because you're probably too early or too late, then it's a missed opportunity. That's more this year, missed opportunity. That's this area here, okay? It might be that you're doing the right thing in the right time, but the quality is poor. Then you have quality issues. Means you don't really resonate with the customers. Okay, resonate. Reso. Just right, redo. And the last thing, what could happen is you doing it on time with something in high quality, but nobody wants it. It's not the relevant thing, and then it's not you are or your offer is not relevant. So it's not really relevant. Okay, that's more or less those three. The relevant spot you missed if you're only doing time and quality. You missed the opportunity if you have only the right product and the right quality, but on the wrong time. And you don't resonate in terms of quality if you're doing the right thing on the right time, but without the quality. Okay. That's one thing I want to show you here. Yeah. Oops. Let's go back to my presentation. Okay. Just using my mouse. It's quicker. Okay, that's the three fundamentals you have to meet before you anyway scale. And that's number one. Number two is you have as well to consider three major economics. And one is really about the market size. Many people around the world have the same problem. That's one thing we should make sure before scaling. The second is the gross margin is high. That means there's a high relevance for investors to be attracted by your offer, and they want to participate in this market and help you, your vision, your value, your vision, a product, and to size this market and participate from your success. But in doing so, they need a reward for the risk they're going to take, and then it's easier for them to see if it's a high margin product, across high margin product, than if it's a low one. Number three here in the major economics is your business model. There shouldn't be any frictions that hinders scaling. And if you look at the business model, especially if you look at the input resources and the processes, they are servicing toward the offer for your client. And if you probably can't scale because you don't have an access to talent pool, or you don't scale because you don't have access to the needed resources like IT or raw materials, or you have a friction because yes, you have high access to everything, but you don't have an access to customers, then it's difficult to scale. That means that there's three major economics you have to consider. Let's go deeper into it. When I analyzed and helped companies how to scale and what to do, I asked them more or less always the same questions, because I see also the same problems with most companies. One we just touched very quickly at the moment or before was scaling without a foundation. Means without a foundation means you don't have a proper business model, you have friction between the business model elements and so on. Second, you don't understand the economic drivers of your business. Means what are the drivers in your market? Next is really you have this friction between elements of your business model. That's more or less then going back to one. You have not listened to your customers, even your early customers, because if you develop a product and you haven't really put in all the feedback needed to validate your offer, then you have a problem to scale. And if you scale, you get lots of complaints and decline from future customers. Really, therefore, you have to listen, especially to early customers, to create this product and to make it a good product, and to find out and validate that your offer is really addressing an existing great pain of a large group of persons. Another thing is back to the human resources, to the talent pool. What I said, talent might be expensive, but if you don't put on the best team, the best employees, it's difficult to scale, because you will end up in doing the wrong things because you haven't the right people to advise and create processes needed to scale. And then what you mentioned as well, you have an imbalance between revenue and profit. Means you need a high gross margin, definitely a stable one. Probably even by scaling, the gross margin should increase. And another big thing I see all the time, that companies, especially startups, SMEs, are really afraid to put investors on board because they think they are taking away the control whatsoever. But that is definitely not true. 8 point, and it's not a list that you can go on with this list, yeah. And most of the problems arise because you don't have a business process which is systemized in terms of, in the sense of the meaning of a standardized and highly automated process. But I will come back to that a little bit later. Okay, let's go to the next point. What is scaling in business? What does it mean? And to give you just an idea, means scaling is not pure growth. Growth means you increase in revenues, just a pure increase in revenues. Yeah? Where scaling is both the increasing revenues in a higher at a higher speed than the cost of production is increasing. You know, ideally, the cost of production even are stable, and you still can grow your revenues. That's then the reason when your profit margin is increasing. Let's show you that one more time. I'm trying to do that on my new whiteboard here. Okay, I'm going back to my whiteboard, and let's see what is a typical gross thing. A typical gross thing is you have that is definitely too low here. Nobody can read. Voila. Okay, we're going a little bit down over here. Okay. I love a little bit in those little charts. You can see that I'm coming from banking. And typical grosses means you have a linear relationship between input resources, input factors, and the output. Okay. Means if you need to create a table, yeah, you need here 4 legs plus a plate to create one table. Then if you're doubling up here, I don't know where it's roughly here, then you have 2 tables. Okay, that's a typical gross thing. You can put that. It means if then the cost is 4 units, and then the profit is then 10 units for example. And if you have twice, you have what happens? Okay, and if you have the cost base for this 4 legs on the plate is $1, and the income, the revenue is $10, then you have 9 to 1 is then you have 90 cents, if you like, 90 cents profit margin, gross margin. Okay, but what you want to achieve in a scaling, just changing the color to let's say it's blue. In a scaling situation, you want to have more in kind of an exponential growth. Yeah, I'm not the best. I'm not the best designer here and can sketch, but you want really to increase exponentially your output. And that is what is rescaling all about. Okay, I have to always delete it before, otherwise I can't really go back to my main screen. But what do you think? I love my new whiteboard, and it's working perfectly. Okay, I'm trying to really as well to hello. Can you see that? That's the wheel of horror is turning. What happens here? We just have to wait for a second. It's really funny. Here you are. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you there. Means there's a difference really between growth and it's really the difference between the growth and the scaling. Really, in the growth, you have more or less a linear relation between input and output, between cost and income. And in the scaling, you want really to scale in the sense that you increasing on a larger scale the income than increasing the input resources. Okay, and that brings us more or less as well to the to the next slide here on my presentation. Okay, and it's sorry for that, but it's a little bit it's back to Zoom, because once I'm in the presentation mode of Zoom and I'm in the presentation mode of my PowerPoint slides, then I can't find it anymore in the share screen features. Okay, why do you need to scale up your business? And let it phrase me this way. It means we have so much development in technology, and now you have at low cost, you can really systemize and automate processes, which would have cost you a couple of years, even 20 years ago, a fortune. And for a small company, it wouldn't be possible as well. For a solopreneur, it wasn't possible. And as well, the behavior changed. The consumer, the clients have a high accessibility to mobile devices. They have the behavior and the attitude to use them for all different kind of things, even buying more expensive stuff so far. And so it's very technically very easy to scale and to reach your customers both. Yeah? And on the other hand side, business models then are growing around these new possibilities, those new capabilities, and as well customers accepting our different business models. Look, at the moment everything is on subscription. Even the car you can subscribe. If you look at a Volvo car, there you can subscribe, and you have more as a free option with most software application. You have a basic, and you have a platinum, a professional, and you have three prices for the subscription models. And as well, what this technology allows you to create a business model which are creating even for solopreneurs recurrent income. And so easy now, because you have the global world to start in a very small niche, but on a global scale this niche is large, and it's useful to scale and even to mid scale if it's there on high net margin, high profit margin. When is the perfect time to scale your business? And to be honest, the earlier the better. And what I can tell you first is, and I want to probably have to show again in my little whiteboard here. I'm trying to show you that. Yeah, where here I am. Okay, let's go down here. If you thinking of a product or whatever what you're doing in a life cycle, and normally it's going up this way, then at some point it's peak, at some point it's peaking, at some point it's peaking, and then it's decline. Definitely to scale in this situation here makes not really sense, because that is here is a pure competition. It's a competition, it's a fierce competition. It's a red ocean, if you know this. Yeah, where you want to be is normally, if you create your own niche by your strength, by your skills, experience whatsoever, and you start in this area, you attract the innovators, and here you attract the early adapters, and then here probably other market participants are coming, and you want really to scale already straight here after proof. Of the proof of the product, that is, it's has a profitable margin, and then you want to scale it up. Is the sweet spot you want to do, you start scaling here around this area, where the innovators, they're happy to pay in premium, and then even the early adopters, they're happy. They are happy to pay still high premium, but from here on you get definitely in this area. Let's change the color. From here on, let's this is the orange one here. From here on, in this area here, you're too late, and from not that easy, but I'm getting better. And from that, from this area and this time period, it's really, here's cost reduction. Cost reduction is the key. Means really where you want to be is in the early stage, where you want to scale, and to scale very quickly. Means it's here you want to put all your efforts into to scale and to be the dominant market player, number one. You want to achieve it exactly down there. Okay, and that is very important to understand this little chart here, because it makes it very, very clear what to do. Means now I'm coming back to when is the best timing to scale your business, and now it's easy for you to understand when the best time for scaling is. It's when I'm just getting sorry, I'm distracted all the time by the bar. The best timing, you should really start when at the early stages of your niche, and then you have to scale quickly. But before doing that, I would ask yourself some question. If you don't like, I can as well stop my video, and then it's less distracting you. I would ask some question before you're doing it, and one of it is definitely, is there enough demand for your product or service? It's really back to what we had in the beginning. What is the market size? And number two is your service product, is the margin you're creating out of your business model with this product high enough? Is it attractive to investors to get them on board to support your upscaling? Okay. What happens here? It's on my nerves. Then next is how you considered have you considered really current trends? And I had that already last week, or it's one of my biggest topics, how you can make trends your friends. But what you never should do to work against trends, because then you wouldn't have the quick success. Even probably when the wind is blowing very harshly into your face, it's sometimes even impossible to succeed. Therefore, every investor likes it, every stakeholder likes it if you working together with trends, because the trends are supporting you. That is the biggest thing. And think of it in that way, that lots of trends changing the customer behavior, lots of trends changing the customer expectation. And if you still working on an old assumption of about what the customer assumption, customer behavior, customer expectations are, you wouldn't have a sustainable business model, and you can't probably scale it, because then the trend will diminish your market dramatically. And therefore, you should consider current trends and the impact on customer expectations. And again, is your business model working? All the components within this business model, are they working harmoniously together? Or are there frictions between resources and processes and the value proposition? Are clients happy by the processes, because do you only optimize processes and resources, and you don't optimize the value creation for customers? Or what? And there shouldn't be any friction. Otherwise, it's difficult to scale. No? Because if your processes are very efficient, but the clients don't like them because they suffer by the bureaucracy of your processes, maybe, then you can't scale, because customers or clients wouldn't be that much tempted to buy your products very long. And beside the investors, you need a right team of stakeholders, really, from employees, suppliers, and so on, but especially the employees. I will come to that back later. And now to the question we had: when is the best timing? Yeah, and yes, the timing is the best when you are at the initial phase of the innovators phase, of the early adapter phase, when you have only a few competition. But only then you should scale when your numbers say go, and you need to change, because the competitors are scratching already on your front door. Therefore, look at really if the net promoter index assures then high support of your clients, go for it, scale. If the gross profit margin, go to investors and ask to finance a fast blitz scaling, for example. If the market share to market size means if you have only in small size, and you're the only go-to authority within this market, because it's your niche, you're in a blue ocean, scale quickly, because if there are high margins on your product, on your service, you can be so sure that there will come some competitors and trying to get away the profits from you. Therefore, that's the timing when you should start scaling. Another point when when scaling is right. When you have a scalable business model that doesn't require immediate change, means if you have really an expandable and scalable business model which everything's harmoniously working, and the assumption about client expectations and behaviors correct on a sustainable basis, and you can really get those resources you need, those processes you have defined can be scaled even without further cost, and then you're sure that's a good timing to do that. But don't try to scale if the processes are crappy, because then if processes don't work, you can only compensate with manpower, and if manpower is have always to do the fire extinguisher, nobody has fun with that, and especially not the client if it detects what chaos is within your company. Therefore, you don't need frictions. And ideally, the revenue increase is on a higher scale than the cost increase, but at least it should be stable over time, the relation between revenue and cost. And you can scale all components of your business at least with the same speed. Yeah, I mentioned it already before. And then again, start right from the beginning. If the numbers are right, your business model is working and scalable, go for it. Close your niche for the competitors. And definitely it's a clear sign when you continuously increasing your leads, because so many people are interested and they're coming and flying towards you. You should really start scaling. If you've done the homework, what I said before, do it quickly, because otherwise another company will do that for you. What are my best tips for scaling your business? Number one, building, and I can't stress this enough, building an impressive skill set through a diverse team. Why I'm saying that? Because you need if you want to solve problems of tomorrow, you need different ways of thinking, different skills, different experiences, different knowledge, different understanding of customers, different approaches, different age, different gender, different neurodiversity, whatsoever. Build an impressive skill set so that you can really find solutions for the biggest pain of your customers, and find solutions how you can really standardize and automate most of the repeatable stuff. And you can't do that with a low skill workforce. You need a high skill workforce for that. And if you have that on board, that allows you really to get it right. And then again, what I said, to get it right, the right product, the right quality, the right time. Yeah. And that is very, 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 very important. Coming to tip number 2 I have for you. And tip number 2 is building the right ecosystem. And here's a typo. Let's correct the typo. Building the right. Okay, sorry again. This wheel of horror is turning. By the way, do you like it? Then please send me a like on YouTube. Otherwise, as well, recommend this little masterclass to your friends and colleagues, and hope it's really of value for you, because I think I put there really gold nuggets in for you to learn, and to earn money here first to learn. And that's my approach here for you, to give as much value for you that you don't do the same errors I or lots of companies did before. By the way, it's the reason why the dot-com bubble bursted. I mean, most of those company ideas, there was probably ideas, but the business model was so crank, it wasn't scalable. And at some point, the capital market understood that the business model is not sustainable, and especially not scalable. Okay, building the right ecosystem. And here for that is so easy to use social media on the one side to be visible as authority through value content. You have to be really the go-to authority. Doing that, go out there to the social media, LinkedIn, for example, go to Instagram, Facebook groups, Twitter, and help people, and by really bring out value content. And in doing this, so you build up your brand, you build up your authority, the perceived authority in something. And that is this ecosystem within the social media is important, but as well do networking, collaboration. don't think too narrow-minded. Collaboration and networking is doing fine. Means there's saying your network is your net worth, and it's true. And you can collaborate. That's not always a competitors. Sometimes you're working together in a collaboration brilliantly, and everybody is benefiting from it, and it's a win-win for everybody. Tip number 3 I want to share with you here today is invest in brain and technology. Means we try to get IP and as well invest in technology and customize. That is very important. Customize in the most standardized way possible. Why I'm saying it, you can't standardize everything, especially if it comes to the relationship to human beings, because every person wants to be treated as a individuum, as special. But processes and routines can be standardized, and that's important. And if it's repeatable and standardizable, you can as well think about to automate it as much as possible. And think out of the box here. Do it as well with artificial intelligence, with robotic automation processes, with robotic automation services, and so on. But try to automate as much as possible as you can, so that you can really increase the time to delivery. Means that you don't have really waiting times in production, that you then as well produce the size and quality without increasing the cost of at the same level. And why I'm saying that, let's go back a little bit to my little whiteboard here. And in the meantime, I love my whiteboard. To be honest, it's fantastic. I'm coming back to on screen that you can see me. Hey, hello. Why is that important? If you look at typical process, and most of you people know that as well. You have this kind of you have this. That is time, okay? That is time. And let's say you're going to the doctor, to the GP. I love this example. Going to your at time 0 here, you find out your back is back pain. You have back pain. Okay. What happens again here? Oh, das nervt. It's sorry, mein German word. Radiergummi, Stifteinstellung, voila. Okay, I have to go up there, because on this little pen here, I have voila, I'm back. You have back pain. Therefore, you're doing an appointment with the GP, and you get this in 2 days. Then you wait for 50 minutes, and you get before the GP is taking you, and then you speak to this GP, and then he tells you, we can't help you, you have to go to the specialist, and then you make an appointment with the specialist. The specialist, and that is then 3 weeks later. That means in 21 days. That means you have then from here to here is 20 days, and this guy is talking to you as well, 50 minutes, and then he's giving you some painkillers. Some painkillers. But if you look at here, what you when you calculate, you waited 2 days for the GP, you waited 21 days for the specialist, and if you're good in math, you will find out you needed 23 days plus, don't know, your 30 minutes, yeah? To get what? The result? Painkillers. You have to agree that it's not very, very efficient. Yeah? And now just imagine everything you would have in the in the association of the doctors. They work together, and you wait probably, then you wait 3 days, yeah, because there are more and more requests. You wait 3 days, but within an hour you can see both doctors. Yeah, you see the GP and the specialist. You see both, and then you only in your painkiller. To get your painkiller takes you only 3 days plus 2 hours, and that is definitely much lower than the 23 days you saw before. Yeah? And that is here what we're seeing is value creation. Yeah? You're optimizing the value creation. You're optimizing value creation, and you don't have really lots of waiting time. Waiting time is minimized. Okay, so that's actually what you're going to do there. And that is so important to understand this. No, not saving. It's so important to understand this little relationship between. Going back, the relationship between the optimization of input resources, what was the first example, where the doctors are more or less optimized their time. They only spend 50 minutes with you, and then they're done. And it's very optimized for the input resource of the GP and the specialist, but not for the time of the customer. The second, for the value creation, the value creation is optimized, not the input resource. That is the big difference, and that is probably where people are willing to pay more money to, yeah, especially if it's a big pain like back pain, we would imagine. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. Well, and that is my big thing here. Therefore, try to automate as much processes as possible to get rid of this waiting time. This would increase the time to deliver, and increase the production size and the quality of the output of your service, of the result you can create. Therefore, you should really automate to reduce errors, reduce quality issues, and so on. And but without really increasing the costs at the same speed. Yeah. But now the big but comes. Yeah, that's a very, very important thing. The but always consider you deal with people. Yeah? Don't automate the relationship to people. It's that would be dangerous, and therefore it's so important to engage directly and in a human-centric way with your clients, because they want to be treated special. They are special. They are your heroes. You want to help them, and you want really to increase their perceived value and trust in your brand they have. And you have to increase that. And think all the time, clients are humans with emotions. They are not numbers in your scaling ambition. And it's a big but. Therefore, standardize and automate as much as possible, but without sacrificing your needs and your needs of your clients, and without sacrificing the the, the respect to your clients, let's phrase it this way. And that brings me to the end. I hope you enjoyed this little masterclass as I did. And if you like to just DM me, just give me some comments in the DM to LinkedIn or to Instagram, and tell me as well what you would like that I'm talking about, and then one of the next master classes. And to be more flexible for you, I created my new www.joinmt.club, which is going to be going live here next Saturday. And in this club, you will get digital coaching, where I just post every Monday a video, and where I'm explaining strategies for business, for brand, for marketing, and where you can really have access 24/7. You can look at those videos and get all these gold nuggets out with all the slides in it, and that will come out soon. If you want to join this club, just DM me and I put you on the short list, and I will inform you, and I will make you as well a special offer for beginners, for the quick action takers. I like this word. And yes, follow me on Instagram, follow me on LinkedIn definitely as well, and on YouTube. I haven't put here my details of YouTube, but there's a YouTube channel, the Entrepreneur and Leadership Podcast, as well, available on all major platforms, from Spotify, from Apple Podcasts, Google, and so on. And make sure you follow those as well. Then you get lots of further information, where I'm just talking to globally renowned entrepreneurs and coaches and business experts about various topics, how to build and scale your business. For the moment, I'm happy, and I hope I could help you and brought you some value which you can really apply and use within your business ideas. Take massive actions to your success, and I see you then. Thank you. Bye. Your Michael Thiemann.